Great day, Star Math enthusiasts. Welcome to the part 3 of our review session in preparation for your second grading examination. Before I shall proceed with the review session, may I just share to you some tips on how to get high scores during your examination. First is you have to study or practice yourselves with the previous lessons or with all the lessons that was introduced by your teacher for the whole duration of second grading or the grading period that you are going to have your exam. So always make it sure that you study, give yourself enough time to study all your lessons. Second is that I think this is the most important thing when you are going to have your exam is that you have to believe to yourself. You should always believe to yourself that you can make it. Okay? You have to trust yourself. And lastly, during the day of the examination, you pray before taking the exam. And surely, you will have a high grade or a high score later on in that particular subject. So I hope with this review session that we are conducting, you will somehow improve your scores later on in your examination. So we start. The first question is under a true or false question. It says here, terms are the elements of an expression separated by the plus and the minus sign. If we are to identify whether the statement is true or false, okay, and there is an underlined term there, in your exam later on, makikita nyo sa instruction na it's a modified true or false. And you have to change the underlined word or term kung mali yun. If it does not satisfy the given statement. But if it's true, then you just have to choose the word or the term true. But for our first question, terms are the elements of an expression separated by the plus and minus sign. The statement is true. Why? Because let us try to recall now. So the underlined word there is terms. Okay? Let us try to recall. When we say term in algebra, a term is either a single number or variable or numbers and variables multiplied together. And it says here, terms are separated by plus or minus signs. Okay? If you can still recall, during our discussions, polynomials or expressions are made up of terms. Okay? We cannot say or we cannot call a certain polynomial an expression if terms do not exist in that particular expression. Because, okay, what makes up a certain expression is a term. And term are being separated using now the symbols, the addition symbol and the subtraction symbol. We also have what we call now variable. What does it mean with variable? It is an alphabet or a letter in the English alphabet that is used now to represent an unknown number. So, kapag sinasabi nating variables, we are simply referring to letters just like A, B, C, D, E, F, G until Z. But for algebra, we always use variables such as X, Y, or Z, or A, B, C. Okay, so those letters are what we call now the variables of the given expression. Okay, so those are the terms that you need to remember. What else? We also have what we call now coefficient. Kapag sinabi natin coefficient, it is a number. We are dealing with the literal coefficient. There are two types kasi of coefficients. Okay? We have what we call the literal and the numerical coefficient. But for this case, once we deal with coefficient, we are dealing with numerical coefficient here. Because it says here, it's a number used to multiply a variable. For example, 8x plus 7 is equal to 5. where 8 is a number used to multiply with the variable x. In short, kung ano yung katabi ng variable, okay, and the variable that is being used in our example, which is 8x plus 7 is equal to 5, is x. And ano yung nasa tabi ng x? It's 8. And we call 8 now as the numerical coefficient or coefficient of the given equation. Okay, it's an equation. Why? Because there exists an equality sign. If there is no equality sign, we call it as an expression. So that's the idea now of a quotient. Well, what about operator? When we say operator, these are symbols used to perform now different operations. Say, we have addition, so yan po yung gagamitin na symbol. We also have subtraction and multiplication. So under multiplication, we can have that symbol or yung x symbol, but if there exists a certain variable x, then we cannot use the x symbol for multiplication. We may also use parentheses, okay, to define the operation for multiplication and others. So those are what we call now operators. Okay. Next, we also have what we call constants. When we say constant class, okay, these are fixed values. These are fixed numbers. Okay? Or it says here, these are the terms in the algebraic expression that contain only numbers. Or these are the terms in polynomials that contain only numbers. For example, we have 8x plus 7 equals 5, where 7 and 5 are what we call now the constants of the given equation. Okay? Or kung tatanggalin natin yung is equal to 5, let's say 8x plus 7 is the given expression, then we can say that 7 is the constant of the given expression. So when we say constants, ito po yung mga numbers na indicate or indicated doon sa given na expression. Numbers po siya na walang kasamang variable or walang kadikit na variable. So kapag sinabi kong constant, tandaan palagi, constant numbers. Numbers are constants. So that's it. Next, we also have what we call now the term exponent. Okay? Ano yung dapat nyong isipin or what we call this one, isip kapag ang pinag-uusapan natin ay exponent. Ang exponent class, it refers to the number of times a number is multiplied by itself. Kung may nakikita kayong numero sa taas ng isang variable or constant, then that number is what we call now the exponent. And the exponent will tell you how many times you are going to multiply the base by itself. Okay, we call now the parts or some parts of exponents, we have what we call now the base and the exponent and the totality as the exponential expression or the power. Now, for examples of exponents are the following: 2 squared and 3 cubed. So these are examples of power. Okay, powers or exponential expressions. And if we try now to identify what are the exponents of the given powers or of the given exponential expressions. For 2 squared, we have exponent which is equal to 2, while for 3 cubed, we have exponent 3, which is equal to 3. Okay, so that's how we define now the term exponent. Next. Okay, we have our question number 2. The leading coefficient contains the degree of the given polynomial. So we try to identify whether the given statement is true or false. And the underlined term or the underlined word is leading coefficient. Okay, and the answer is false. Okay, why? We shall be discussing that one afterwards. The correct answer that must be included in the given statement or that must satisfy the given statement is leading term, because the leading term must be the one that contains the degree of the given polynomial. Now let's discuss why is it that it's not the leading coefficient that contains the degree of the given polynomial, and why is it that the leading term must be the one that contains the degree of the given polynomial. Okay, I'd like you to reflect or to look at the given example. So we have narrowed up the parts now. Okay, so we have the leading coefficient, the leading term, and the degree of the given, let's say, function. Okay, so we have now, kapag ang leading coefficient, okay, yun po yung A. We are referring now to the numerical coefficient of the leading term. Okay? At yung leading term naman po, yun yung nagko-contain nung degree ng function. Okay? And the degree now is the exponent of the variable of the leading term. Okay? Let's try to use example under polynomials. Okay? So we have, let's say we have now 3x cubed plus x squared plus x plus 4. So this is an example of a polynomial under multinomial. Why? Because it is made up of how many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 terms. Okay, so we call it as multinomial. Now we try to identify where is the leading coefficient, where is the leading term, and the degree of the given polynomial. Kapag sinasabi nating degree, okay, degree in one variable, degree in one variable, because we can see now that the given is only made up of one variable, and that is variable x. Okay, so meron tayong cases kasi under identifying the degree of a polynomial, if the given is in one variable, in multiple variables. Okay, kapag multiple variables, we have to get the sum of the variables given in the polynomial function, and the highest sum must be considered as the degree of the polynomial. But for this case, since we are going to find now the degree of a polynomial in one variable, so we have to take the highest exponent of the given variables. So we have 3 exponents here, 1, 2, and 3, and the highest is 3. So the degree of the given polynomial is 3. Okay? Kung saan yung degree ng polynomial, yun yung tinatawag po nating leading term. Okay? There are 4 terms. Okay? Just like what I've said a while ago, there are 4 terms in the given polynomial. We have 3x cubed. Ito po yung first term. We also have x squared. This is the second term. X, positive x, and we have positive 4. So there are 4 terms. And then kapag nag-identify po kayo ng leading term, kung saan yung degree ng polynomial, yun po yung leading term natin. So in this case, we say that 3x cubed is our leading term. Okay? So yung 3x cubed po natin yung tinatawag po nating leading term. While our leading coefficient, it's actually now the numerical coefficient of our leading term. So ano ba yung numerical coefficient natin? Okay, yun yung sinabi ko kanina, when we say numerical coefficient, we are dealing with the number beside the given variable or the literal coefficient. So we have x cubed yan, and the numerical coefficient is 3. So our leading coefficient is equal to 3. Okay, so I hope that's clear. You've understood already how to identify leading coefficient, leading term, and the degree of a certain polynomial. So wag nyo kakalimutan yan on how to identify the degree, the leading coefficient, and the leading term. Okay? So yan yung explanation kung bakit mali po yung question kanina. Okay? Kasi nga po, kapag sinasabi nating leading term, it contains the degree of the polynomial. Okay? And leading coefficient, it's actually now the numerical coefficient of our leading term. Let's proceed with our next example, or next question rather. Okay, question number 3. Still under true or false or modified true or false type of test. The expression x squared plus 2x minus 4 is already in its standard form. Okay? The given statement is true. Why? Okay? Let us try to explain why is it that x squared plus 2x minus 4 is already in its standard form. Kailan ba natin masasabi na ang given polynomial ay nasa standard form na siya? At kailan natin masasabi na yung polynomial na given ay hindi pa siya naka-standard form? Let's try to discuss that one. Okay. A polynomial is said to be in its standard form if it is expressed in such a way that the term with the highest degree is placed first, followed by the term which has the next highest degree, and so on. Okay, that means to say that the exponents of each terms are in ascending or descending order. Are in descending order. So, pataas, pababa. Okay? So, therefore, we can say that the given statement a while ago is true. Why? Because if we try now to check, okay, we have a while ago the given polynomial is x squared plus 2x minus 4. Okay? So if we try to check the exponents of each term, so we have three terms here and we call this polynomial as trinomial. So we have x squared, positive 2x, and negative 4. So there are actually three terms. Now we identify the degree of each term. So we have here, we have 2. So 2 ang degree niyan. And then 2x we have 1. And then ang degree ng constant, just like what Ma'am Rachel discussed during the first part of your review session, ang degree po ng constant ay always 0. So if we try to look at the exponents of each terms, we have 2, 1, 0. Is it already in its descending order? Or yung exponents ba ng bawat terms ay ang arrangement ba ay pababa, pataas to pababa? Yes. Meaning to say, this polynomial expression is already in its standard form. Okay? So, masasabi natin na yung polynomial ay hindi siya naka-standard form kapag, okay, say for instance, we have x raised to 3y squared minus x raised to 6y plus 5xy minus 2. Okay, so we have x cubed y squared minus x raised to 6y plus 5xy minus 2. This time, we have to get the degree of each term. Okay, and as we can see on the given, there are two variables involved. So, multiple variables. And how do you get now the degree of multiple variables? The degree of a polynomial in multiple variables. What are you going to do now? You have to get the sum of the exponents of each variables indicated in the given polynomial. So we have to get the sum of the exponents of x and y in our first term. So our first term is x cubed y squared. Okay, our second term is negative x raised to 6y, and then we have 5xy positive and negative 2. Okay, so we have to get the sum of 3 and 2. We have here 5. The sum of 6 and y, we have an imaginary 1 as its exponent. So we have 6 plus 1 is 7. And then we have here 2, x and y, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then the constant 0. Okay, we try to check whether the given degree of each terms are already arranged in descending order. 5, 7, 2, 0. Naka-arrange na ba sila into descending order? Hindi pa. That is why we cannot consider this polynomial as written in its standard form. It's not yet written in its standard form. So, mas ulitin ko, masasabi lang natin na yung polynomial polynomials are already expressed in its standard form if the terms are already arranged, or the degree of the terms are already arranged in descending manner or descending order. Okay? So I hope that's clear. Next. Number 4 question. We have the terms 12xy squared and 5xy are like terms. So we identify whether the given statement is true or false, and then we change the underlined word. If it's false, we have to change the underlined word to make this statement correct. Okay? So the terms 12xy squared and 5xy are like terms. Okay? What do we mean by like? What do we mean by unlike terms? Masasabi nating like ang isang term kapag masasabi nating unlike ang isang terms kapag ano? We shall be explaining that one after this one. So we have the answer here is false. Why? Because it's the given examples or the given terms are what we call unlike terms. I believe this was already discussed also by Ma'am Rachel during her explanation on the first part of your review session. But allow me to once again discuss what is the difference between like and unlike terms. So ang sagot po dyan, false po. Magkaiba po ang 12xy squared at saka 5xy. Okay? Bakit? Kapag sinasabi nating like terms, okay, the terms having the same literal, or when I say literal, I am referring to variables with the same exponents. Okay? So they are like terms if the terms contains the same literal or variables having the same exponents. So we try to go back with our question number 4. Okay? Do they have the same variables? Yes. We have xy, xy. But do the variables contain the same exponents? No. Okay? Magkaiba sila. Why? Because in our first term, 12xy squared or first expression, we have 12xy squared. Ang exponent ng x is 1. Ang exponent ng y is 2. While in the other expression, we have 5xy. Ang exponent ng x is 1. So, it satisfies yung first expression natin having the exponent of x which is also equal to 1. But for the case of y, yung exponent ng y dun sa second expression, it's only equal to 1. While for the first expression, the exponent is 2. That is why we cannot consider this expression as like terms. Okay? And when we say unlike terms, these are the terms having the same variable with different exponents, or different variables with same exponents are called unlike terms. Okay? Kahit pareho pa yan ng exponents, kung magkaiba din yung variables, they are unlike terms. Okay? And take note, under operations of polynomials or on polynomials, you cannot add or subtract unlike terms. Take note of that. Okay? Always remember that one. So those things are the things that you need to remember later on during your exam when we deal with like and unlike terms. Next, question number 5. Okay, we proceed now. I think these questions will fall under a fill in the blanks. Okay, so which of the following is the value of 4x plus 3 when x is equal to 3? But in this case, okay, ginawa ko na lang siyang multiple choice. Okay, but these questions fall, I repeat, under fill in the blanks. Okay, so we have here now, which of the following is the value of 4x plus 3 when x is equal to 3? O, intindihin ng mabuti yung tanong. Ano daw yung value ng expression na 4x plus 3 kapag yung x nyo daw, okay, ay equal siya sa 3? Okay, so anong gagawin nyo? You just have to change variable x or substitute the value of x into the given expression. Okay, so we try to check. A, is it equal to 20? B, it's equal to 15. C, we have 9. Or D, it's equal to 7. The correct answer here is 50. Why? Okay, let's try to present the solution. 4x plus 3 when x is equal to 3. Okay? So, ang gagawin nyo lang dyan is magsa-substitute lang po kayo. Okay? Ano pong isa-substitute namin, sir? Ang isa-substitute nyo po ay yung value ng x which is equal to 3. Okay, so we have the given polynomial 4x plus 3. Papalitan lang po natin yung variable x ng 3. So 4, change variable x, which is equal to 3, and then plus 3. 4 times 3, that is 12. Plus 3, it's now equal to 15. Okay? So, doon sa exam nyo, okay, yan po ay fill in the blanks. Okay? For example, the value of 4x plus 3 when x is equal to 3 is blank. So, the answer must be equal to 15. So, that's how you deal with that kind of a question later on. Okay, next. Which of the following is the value of 2x squared minus x plus 4 when x is equal to negative 1? Okay? Remember class, ang gagawin nyo lang dito, ang method lang na i-apply nyo dito is purely substitution. Okay? Magsa-substitute lang kayo nung specific value ng variable na binigay. Okay? So, ang gagawin nyo lang, papalitan nyo lang daw ng negative 1 yung lahat ng x variable dun sa given na expression or na given na polynomial. Okay, we have the following choices. We have 1, 7, 5, 3. What do you think is the answer? Okay, very good. The answer is 7. How, sir? Okay, let's try to solve. So we have now 2x squared minus x plus 4. So we just simply need to substitute the value of x, which is equal to negative 1. So we have now 2x squared minus x plus 4. We change all x variables into negative 1. So 2 times negative 1 squared minus negative 1 plus 4. Do not forget your PEMDAS rule. Parentheses, exponent, multiplication or division, and addition or subtraction. Okay? Wag niyong kakalimutan yung basic na yan. So we have to simplify first those terms or expressions and close by a parenthesis. So 2 times negative 1 squared, or we have exponents here, exponential expression. We have negative 1 times negative 1. That will give you a product of 1. Negative times negative 1. That will give you positive 1 plus 4. And then you simplify 2 times 1 is equal to 2 plus 1 plus 4. So we have now 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So your answer must be equal to 7. In your exam later on, please, okay, consider only numerals. Okay? Numerals lang po ang magiging answer nyo. Wala pong magsusulat ng word na 7. Okay? Huwag pong isusulat ang 7 na word. Wrong po yan. Mali po. Mamali po yan later on. Okay? Kaya sinasabi ko na sa inyo, ang sagot dapat is a number. It must be a number. Okay? That is equal to 7. Okay? Hindi word na 7. Okay? Next. I hope that's clear. We now proceed with our next question. Which of the following is the value of x squared y squared minus 2xy plus 1 when x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0? Okay? Ganun pa rin po ang proseso. Okay? So magsa-substitute lang po kayo. These are the following choices. We have 0, 1, 2, negative 1. The answer here is, you're right, it's equal to positive 1. How? How did we get positive 1? Okay, let's try to solve now the given polynomial expression. So we have x squared y squared minus 2xy plus 1. There are two variables involved in the given polynomial. We have x and y. So we just simply need to substitute the value of x and at the same time the value of y. We change all x into 1. So we have here 1 squared. How about y? It's equal to 0 times 0 squared minus 2 times the value of x, which is equal to 1, times the value of y, which is equal to 0, plus 1. 1 squared is equal to 1. 0 squared is equal to 0. Minus 2 times 1, that is 2 times 0 is equal to 0. Plus 1. Bakit 0, sir? Okay, take note. Any number that is being multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. Or any expression that is being multiplied to 0 is equal to 0. So 1 times 0 is equal to 0. 0 minus 0 plus 1. 0 minus 0 is 0 plus 1, it's equal to 1. So the answer here is equal to 1. Okay? So it's very easy. Kailangan marunong lang kayong mag-add, mag-subtract, at mag-substitute. And at the same time, mag-multiply. Okay? I hope that's clear. Let's now proceed with our next question. Okay, this time we try to go back with FOIL method, the concept of FOIL method. Because in here, I think I have included here a table completion wherein you have to complete the table using now the idea of FOIL method, or you are going to apply the FOIL method in getting the product of two binomials or polynomials. Okay, so we have here question number 8. Using FOIL method, which of the following is the product of the outer terms of the quantity 2x minus 4 and x plus 6? So FOIL method stands for first terms, product of the first terms, product of the outer terms, product of the inner terms, and product of the last terms. So alam niyo dapat kung ano ibig sabihin ng FOIL method. Product of the first terms, outer terms, inner terms, and last terms. So in this case, we are asked to solve for the product of the outer terms. Saan ba dyan yung outer terms? Okay? So we try to locate where is the outer terms, or where are the outer terms in the given polynomials. So we have outer terms. Nasa labas, we have 2x at saka positive 6. So you get the product. What's the product now? The product is 12x. So we try to check the different choices. Check natin kung may 12x. So we have negative 24, 12x, negative 4x, and 2x. The answer is 12x. Okay, may I once again introduce the application of FOIL method in multiplying polynomials. So, given we have the quantity 2x minus 4 times x plus 6. Using FOIL method, we have the product of the first terms, FOIL F. First term, saan yung first terms dyan ng bawat expression? So first term nung unang expression is 2x, and then first term nung pangalawang expression is x. So kunin natin yung product niya. 2x now times x. 2x times x, we have 2x squared. Oh, dapat marunong din kayo sa laws of exponents. Product rule tayo dyan. X times x. Same base, copy the common base, and then you have to add the exponents. After the first terms, we have to get the product of the outer terms. Nasa labas. Yung 2x pa rin, at saka yung positive 6. So, 2x times 6. Kaya, ang sagot natin kanina ay 12x. And that's correct. Okay? Next, how about the inner terms? Inner terms, yung nasa loob, we have negative 4 at saka x variable. So, negative 4 times x is now equal to negative 4x. Okay? And then, the product of the last terms. Last terms, we have negative 4, yun yung last term ng first expression, and yung second expression is positive 6. So, negative 4 times positive 6 is now equal to negative 24. Okay, and after that one, we have to simplify our answer in order to get now the simplified form. Okay, simplified form ang tawag natin kapag sinisimplify na natin yung polynomial. Okay, or kinukuha na natin yung product nung dalawang expressions. Okay, so we have 2x squared and then may common or like terms tayo. What will we do with like terms? We have to perform the operation. And we always have to add them. So 12x plus negative 4x, different sign. What will you do? You have to subtract and then carry the sign of the greater number or the bigger number or the larger number. So we have 12 minus 4, that is 8. Then you bring down x or you copy x. Parang 12 apples minus 4 apples, we have 8 apples. And apples are being represented using the variable x. That's why it's positive 8x. Okay? Positive, we have to carry the sign of the greater number or the larger number, which is 12. And its sign is positive. So we have to write here positive 8x and then copy negative 24. And this is what we call now the simplified form or the product now when we multiply 2x minus 4 by x plus 6. So that's how easy FOIL method is. I hope that's very clear. Okay, so when we apply FOIL method, we are actually getting now the product of the first terms, the outer terms, inner terms, last terms, and we have to combine the outer term and the inner terms, always add them, perform their operation, and then don't forget to simplify your answer so that you will get the simplified form. And check if your simplified form is already in its standard form. Okay. Next, we proceed now with our next question. Okay. Another example under FOIL method. Okay. So using FOIL method, which of the following is the simplified form of x minus 4 times x plus 3? Okay. So we have the different choices: x squared plus x minus 1, x squared minus x minus 12, x squared minus x minus 1, x squared plus x plus 12. Okay, the correct answer here is, okay, very good. It's x squared minus x minus 12. Why, sir? Okay, how did we get x squared minus x minus 12? Okay, let's try to solve now the given question. FOIL method. Using FOIL method, we get the product of x minus 4 and x plus 3. So what are we going to do? We have to determine first the product of the first terms. Okay, first terms. We identify the first terms of the given, there are two binomials here. Okay, so first term is x and x. So we have to get the product of x and x. X times x is equal to x squared. Okay, and then outer terms, it's x and positive 3. Okay, so x times 3, it's equal to 3x. And then the inner terms, we have negative 4 and x. Okay, negative 4 and x. And negative 4 times x is equal to negative 4x. And our last terms, we have negative 4 and positive 3. Getting the product, it will give us negative 12. And then, don't forget to combine like terms. Combine your outer term and inner terms. 3x plus negative 4x, it will give you an answer which is equal to x. And then carry the sign of the larger number. It's negative x. 3x or 3 minus 4 is equal to negative 1. That's why the answer must be negative x. And our standard form, therefore, now is equal to, or the product when you multiply x minus 4 by x plus 3 is now equal to x squared minus x minus 12. Okay, so this is now what we call now the simplified form. I hope that's clear once again. Okay, we now proceed with our last question for our part 3 for this review session in preparation for your second grading exam. Which of the following is the quotient of 32x cubed plus 24x squared plus 12x over 4x? So later on, I have also considered in your exam, it's actually fill in the blanks, but it's in the form of completing a table and identifying the terms in the simplified form or in identifying the quotient of the given polynomials. So dapat marunong kayong mag-divide. You go back with our, I think that's week 7 or week 8 if I'm not mistaken, a week 8 discussion. Okay, so we have 32x cubed plus 24x squared plus 12x divided by 4x. How do you deal with this one? Let's proceed with the different choices. We have 8x squared plus 6x minus 1, 8x squared plus 6x plus 3, x squared plus x plus 3, and x squared plus 6x plus 1. What's the answer? Very good. It's 8x squared plus 6x plus 3. Paano po natin nakuha yung 8x squared plus 6x plus 3? Okay, remember, when you are dealing with the quotient of or dividing polynomials or division of polynomials, you have to recall the quotient law of exponent or power of a quotient or quotient rule under your laws of exponents. And how did we get 8x squared plus 6x plus 3? May we solve now the given. So we have to divide each term of the dividend or the numerator by 4x. Okay, paghiwa-hiwalayin natin siya. Okay, so we have 32x cubed divided by 4x and then carry the operation plus 24x squared over 4x plus 12x over 4x. Okay, so ganyan lang po ang pagdi-divide. Then, we divide the numerical coefficients of each term of the given polynomial. 32 divided by 4, we have 8. And then apply now the laws of exponent under the quotient rule. Okay, what will you do? The same base, what will you do? Get the difference or subtract the exponents. So 3 minus 1, that is 2. So we have now 8x squared. And then you have to carry the sign. Plus, okay, 24 plus positive 24 divided by 4 is equal to 6. And then subtract the exponents of the variable x is equal to x. Positive 12 divided by 4 is equal to positive 3. X divided by x is equal to 1. Okay, so multiply it by 1. So our final answer would be 8x squared plus 6x plus 3. Okay, kasi magkakancel na yung x niya. X divided by x is equal to 1. Or x raised to 0. And x raised to 0 is equal to 1 because any variable or number that is being raised by 0 is equal to 1. So the simplified form now or the quotient now is equal to 8x squared plus 6x plus 3. Okay, so that's all for the part 3 of our review session. Okay, that's how easy your exam is, and kung nakinig kayo ng mabuti sa review session na pin-prepare namin ni Ma'am Rachel nyo, walang magiging problema later on sa magiging exam nyo. Okay? And one more thing, you really have to prepare yourselves, okay, before the examination. So, with that, then, good luck and God bless in your upcoming examination. And shout out sa lahat ng mga estudyanteng patuloy na nagiging responsable sa kanilang pag-aaral. Naway lahat ay maging safe parati, and advance Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good luck and God bless once again in your upcoming examination. Thank you, Louisian Stars.